Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, it's going to be the first part out of a series of videos that I'm going to make regarding joints in Fusion 360. But before I'm going to talk about it, it is very important that you're going to forget everything that you know about joints from other CAD systems, because it's not exactly the same. Here it's actually much more simpler. What Fusion 360's joint means it's what kind of movement you can do instead of what movement you cannot do. Let's say it like this. So let's take, for example, if rigid, we all know it's basically fixed. You cannot do anything. Revolute is just turning around an axis. Slider, again, it's a slider on axis. Cylindrical, this is actually a combination of both two here, the revolute and the slider, and so on. So it's very, very simple to understand, and it makes much more sense, because then you're thinking, okay, this part I want to move this way and this way. So you just need to look here, if you wanted to slide, so you choose a slider. If you wanted to turn, then you use a revolute, and so on. And also you can combine the different joints, and you can also use the joints in connection to sketches also. This is a little bit more advanced. I'm going to talk about it later in other videos. So you have a lot of freedom with the joints. And what is also extremely amazing in Fusion, it's this as-built joint that I'm using a lot because I'm working with top-down design, which means that I've designed these parts like this. It's already positioned. So I don't need to think about the positioning part when I'm creating the joint. I just need to tell it, okay, in this position, what do you want it to do? I wanted to be able to do a revolute, or I wanted to slide, and so on. That's it. But if you are doing a bottom-up design and you're importing component inside, so you also need to position them. So then you're going to use the normal joint command here. And then what I'm going to show you, if you're going to take a look at this example here, you can see I can slide it back and forth, and then the upper part, the plate, is also moving at the same time. And for that, we are using something called motion link, in order to combine both motions, few motion or three motion, and more than that at the same time. So it's actually really cool. You can animate many things if you know how to use it. So so let's start, and I hope you're gonna enjoy it. So in this situation here, I want this screw to just revolute around this here, inside this motor here. And that's it. So I'm gonna choose revolute. It's very simple. So I want this one inside and this part. Yes. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit more closer so you can see it. And now it asks me the position. So I just need to be centered somewhere. It's either you're going to choose this one or the screw itself. It really doesn't matter. And you can see here it's turning around. And this flag with the point, it's showing you the direction of the turn. That's it. It doesn't mean that you cannot turn it also to the other side. There's no problem. If you want to animate it again, just press on the animated here button. And that's it. And I'm not going to go so much into detail here. Here you can just basically change the axis. Here we are on this z-axis. You can change it to the x-axis or the y-axis, and so on. So, and I'm just gonna press OK. So now we have it. So now we have the screw is revoluting inside the motor here that I've created, but as you can see, it's still moving. So I want to fix both motor gears to this part, so it's not gonna move. So next I'm gonna use It's gonna be a rigid. So I'm gonna choose this one. Both of them are chosen because it's two bodies. I just created a mirror of both of them. I don't need to create a new component. It's not necessarily because it's the same part that I'm gonna use. And it saved me also a lot of place here on the browser. And I'm gonna choose which one, the next one. It's this one. And I'm gonna change it to rigid. See, it's actually kind of moving in a weird way. That's it. So now if I try to move it, you see it's not moving. Next, I'm gonna use another rigid, this one to the base. Okay. And now you have to remember that when you start working with joints, so one of them must be grounded, okay? And this is also how it works also with the other CAD program. You need to ground one of them. So they're not gonna move in space. So now nothing is actually moving. You see, I'm trying to move it. This one and this one, nothing is moving. And yeah, okay. Next, let's make sure that this one is not moving. This one is also moving. So we're gonna fix this one. Again, as build joint, we're just choosing this one and to this one, and we wanted to revolute. So we are, let's just go to the other side, choosing around this axis and click OK. That's it. Now come the tricky part. And why is that? Because when I build this model, I designed it this way. I created a plane here, so it's in the middle and everything. But let's just say for a moment that I want to start from the beginning from here. And a reason that I want to do that, and I'll show you now why. So let's start. Again, as build joint. And now I'm gonna use the slider. I don't want this part to turn around the screw, okay? I want it to slide. When the screw is turning, so it's gonna slide. So I want it to slide on this one. And then again, we need to choose some kind of a point. And now I'm gonna teach you a little trick here, if you don't already know it, because you can see it's gonna be kind of really difficult to choose the point that I want. For example, if I want to be right in the middle here. So what you can do, press the control button. I think on the Mac it's going to be the command. And then everything is freezes. As you can see, I'm moving the mouse anywhere I want. And then I can choose, for example, you see the X here in the middle. I can choose it, and that's it. So remember to use the control if you know, you want to get in a point where it's difficult because it's kind of overlapping with another part or something like that. So just choose the control, and then it's going to freeze everything, and then you can choose the point that you want. Okay, so you can see here we can animate it again. Voila. Okay, next. I want to, as you can see, this is the only part that actually moves, and I'm actually not so happy with it. I should have basically first work with the all the rigids, all the parts that are not moving, and then I'm gonna start work with the parts that are moving. It's gonna be much easier this way. Just create a better structure also here in the joints folder here. So what I'm gonna do now, quickly, I'm gonna delete everything that I've done so far. It's not a big problem. And now I'm gonna start to fix everything. So I can use, for example, also a rigid group, for example. If I have more than 2, 3, 4 type of components which are going to be fixed together, they're not going to move, so I can use this one instead of create it one by one. So I can say, okay, this one, these, there's gonna be one group. Okay, now you can see nothing moves besides, you know, the screws. I haven't touched them. And now we're gonna create another rigid group here. Let's see. I'm gonna choose this one and these two, and the motors here on the side, and click OK. Now let's see. Yeah, perfect. Exactly what I wanted. See, and now I can start work on the parts that are actually going to move. So you see now it's much more structured. They are in the beginning here. Okay, so we're gonna go in again as build joint. We're gonna click on screw, click on this one. It's going to be Revolut, and we choose this one here, on this point. And then we're gonna create the next one. Screw, the motor, choose a point, and OK. Next part we're going to work on, it's going to be this one. OK, let's build joint. We're going to choose it, and I'm going to choose the screw. And like before, I'm going to press on the control, and then I'm going to go to the plus here. And this is on Revolut. I just need to change it to slider. See, no big deal. And then press OK. And let's see the result. See, it's now sliding, but it's also kind of moving all around. So I need to fix also the other side. Okay. So now, again, as build joint. And it's going to be a slide on this one. Control plus OK. Voila. See? Perfect. Next part, I'm going to work on this one here, and the screw here. S build joint on this side. Choose the engine, and then I'm gonna choose a Revolut. Just choose a center point. Voila. By the way, I could have actually also used a rigid here if it doesn't really matter for you the effect that the screw is turning. So just choose a rigid. But if it's something that you're going to show, it's very important to you to show the effect of the screw, how it's turning, then you can use the Revolut. Next part, it's going to be this one, the plate here. Okay, S build joint, and this one is going to be a slider. So I'm going to choose this one, and I'm going to choose this screw. And wait a second, let's go away from it. Okay, put the cursor here on this face, control, and then click on the plus here. Okay, now let's see what we've got. So we have this one turning back and forth, and then we have also this one turns back and forth, but it's also kind of moving, and I don't like it. So I'll show you in a moment how we can fix it. So far everything works really nice. You see, it's very, very simple. But the issue here, you know what? Let's fix this one, and then I'm gonna show you how we can do it even better. So I'm gonna back to the position before, Now this is a little trick. I just figured out how to do it, and in the beginning I wanted to make sure that it's not going to move. So I chose slider on those supporters here, but it didn't work out as I wanted to. So what I've used, it's the planner. That's why I said in the beginning, I'm gonna also show a little bit about the planner, but I'm not going to go really in detail about it. So this is why. So what I'm going to choose is the plate and this supporter here. And now I need to choose some kind of reference here. Let's say this one, and let's look for another point here. How was it? Oh. Okay, don't worry about it. And I think it was, yeah. And let's see here. Oh, wait a second. I need to edit it. I need to change it. But for that, we go back. Let's see. Edit joint. It's turning on this one, and I want it, let's say, for example, on this. I'm gonna fix it on this plane, and it's sliding on the Z axis, which is fine. Okay, let's see how it's working now. Voila. See, now it's not moving. It's not flipping around. So this is just a little trick. Now you know how you can use also other joints, how to play with it. Okay, so far so good, but now as you can see, I can move it all the way out. I don't have any limitation, so I need to create one. So what do? Revert. So there is two options. It's either you can live with it, either you can use it, for example, as it is now. If we mark the slider here, and we go to, see, I click on this orange button, and then we can say minimum, maximum. And these are the handles which you can play with for the minimum and maximum. You can see this is the maximum, and the white one, it's going to be the minimum. You want it, okay, this is the minimum and this is the maximum. You can see it here, and then we can also animate it. But in general, I don't like to work like that. But what I'm going to do now, let's see here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position it where I want it. Okay, I'm going to position it here. This is the start point that I want. And for the plate, yeah, we're gonna do it also for the plate afterwards. So I'm gonna capture this position. It's very important, this part, because if you're not gonna do it now, it's gonna ask you later to capture, or if you don't want to capture, then it's gonna go back. So we want to capture this position. Gonna capture this position. And now we're gonna go to it was this one, this slider. And I'm going to right click on it, and then edit joint. You see it went back. So the only option, wait a second, let's find it. This is the one. The only option, it's actually delete it and create it again, that's why I didn't do it in the beginning, because I wanted to show you how you can do it now. If you already created the joint and then you're thinking, oh, now I need to figure out minimum, maximum with the minus and everything. So let's just remove it, delete this one, and I'm also the other one. I'm gonna delete both of them, and then as build joint, we want this one on top of this one, and we want it to be slider. Again, it's not a big deal. You see, you're getting used to it. We do it very fast. This is 1, and this is 2. Voila. Now it's going to be much easier to, the only thing I'm going to have to work on with right now is the maximum. So in order to figure out the maximum, let me show you a little trick. You can just drag it all the way to the where you want it to be, and then you have the numbers here. Sometimes a little bit difficult to see them. Yes, it is kind of difficult right now. Or you could also, now you can see, you see 209. So let's say 209, yes? So we know we can say here, we can click on the edit, have minimum, maximum, 209. Oops. And then we can animate it. Voila. Then we can just revert the other position, and then see it's I cannot go I cannot go further backwards, and then this way. Say it was much easier to do it this way. Okay, next we're going to do the same thing over here to the plate. Now let's go back with this one. The plate, we had a planner, if you remember, and we also had the slider. So let's remove both of them. It's also a good practice. But okay, before we do that, actually, let's position it where we want it. Let's say we want it to start from here, right here, for example. But the other one here just move. Let's see if we can do it from this side. Then it's not gonna move. Ah, come on. And I'm gonna position it right here. Yes. Okay. Now we're gonna capture the position. We're gonna go to the slide. We're gonna go to the planner, and we're gonna delete it. Voila. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, again, from the beginning, we're gonna choose this part and this one, and we want it to slide. And just put gentle, click the control, choose the plus here, and that's it. And now we're gonna create the planner. Let's start right from the beginning. I'm going to choose this one and then this one. Now the position, let's turn it this way. This, I don't like it, this one, I don't like it. This is kind of odd that it's, I want it to slide, not on this one. This is Y. Okay. Is it moving right now? Yes. Good. See, now it's moving. No problem. So now we can create the motion link. So again, we're choosing this joint and this joint. See? Now when I'm moving this one, the plate is moving as well. Just need to give it a little bit push. We can now see why it's not working. 208. Maybe we have a limitation to 208. Now it's 287. I'm just wondering where this limitation come from. See, this is it's like the maximum. So it must be the motion link. Somehow it doesn't respect. It was the second one, I believe. And let's see. So 328, let's see. Hey, 387. Okay. So I just needed to add another 100 and now it's working. I'm not quite sure exactly why. There can be many reasons for that. It depends where I started actually, where there was the reference. So it's like counting from here instead of from there. But it doesn't matter. We know what to do, so no problem. And voila. And this is how you create a joint, how you create, just a second. This is how we work with a slider and a planner and Revolut. So if you have any questions, please let me know and I will answer it. If you have any kind of challenges that you know trying to use it and it doesn't really work, you can post in the Fusion 360 forum and I'm gonna answer you. It's gonna be me or maybe the other instructors. And I hope you got the feeling how the joint's actually working and how flexible it is. And you can see also how I dealt with this kind of issues. Don't give up, try different positions and it's gonna work in the end. Okay, yeah, it is very simple. It's not that complicated. So we'll see next time. Maybe gonna talk about let's see what we've got here. Cylindrical I'm gonna talk about and pin slots. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. I did, with all the challenges. And don't forget, comment and hit the like button and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.